Rodeo time. Gotta get her on down the road.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rodeo Time, the podcast. Dale Brisby, Donnie Daytona, and Jared Outlaw.
Yellow.
In the flesh.
Yellow.
Pow to the pow pow. He's going to tell us about his life. All the above.
Let's get into
What's your best dad joke?
Oh, dude, you should get in-law in here.
In-laws got him?
He's got all the dad jokes.
What's your favorite one you've heard him tell?
Oh, Lord.
You don't remember?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah.
We'll get some.
He's getting coffee right now.
Outlaw's showing us the new Broncos. Did you bring it up? Did you show it? Did you bring it up?
Well, they don't ever post a good picture. There's the headlights.
Yeah,
so it's
that's-
very Jeep-like.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
very Jeepy. Like, here's the body styles. They got the 2-door, 4-door, and Sport. The 2-door looks sweet. I mean, the 4-door looks cool, too. I just can't, you can't see.
no, 4 doors on an off-road vehicle. It's not my style.
They're trying to be all mysterious.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like a
Yeah.
teaser. Like
Yeah.
they don't.
Well, and then they probably, they're doing the Tesla truck thing, so you can pre-order it. So it's like, oh, pre-order now, and everybody pre-orders, puts their $100 down.
I heard.
That's what you got to put down?
$100. That's the thing is, I don't get it. Like, you got the Tesla truck, you got the Ford Bronco, and like you got these kids that they're like just graduated high school. They're like, got mine, $100. I'm like, yeah. Well, someday you're gonna have to pay the rest of the $30,000, and your credit's gonna, or you're gonna be calling your mom,
Those-
asking.
Tesla trucks are only $30,000?
No, the Bronco.
I think
Well, I think the Bronco starts at like 29 or something like that.
those Tesla trucks, I think, start at like 60.
Yeah.
And they can go up.
And they
to
go
like,
up. The highest one they have is like, I think it's like, yeah, they get pretty up there. I don't want to.
Are you going to get a Bronco?
No.
You're a Chevy man, aren't you?
I'm an everything guy, but it's always been Chevy since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I like the old Broncos.
I like the old Broncos too.
The
but
old,
I have
old
nothing
Broncos.
against. Yeah. Old 2 doors with
Mhm.
the. Oh yeah, man. And I got my boy, Fat Boy, works
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So I got his Bronco at my house every day.
Yep. What's
Yeah.
that big truck you were loading on a trailer before you came here?
The K20. That's a 1985 Chevy K20, 3/4 ton, fleet side. It's a big boy.
And but you came down here in your Colorado?
In the Colorado, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the mountain truck, I call it, because it's small and it can get in between the pines and the aspens.
It's got a snorkel.
It's got a snorkel.
Have you
go
ever
underwater?
Have you ever had to use it?
No, I just got that put on.
Oh, really?
And I usually do, so a lot of the stuff we do. Oh, in-law, what are you doing?
I told him to come on in.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's got coffee? Hold on, hand me my Rodeo Time mug.
And donuts.
Oh, and donuts. Yeah, I don't need donuts, buddy.
Okay.
Have you seen this 8-pack? Thanks, man. Sorry, my assistant, guys. My assistant.
Oh, believe me, I get it. Yes.
You ain't no cowboy mug.
I let my assistant on the podcast with me.
Where's he at?
Right here. You.
This guy?
No, you.
Oh.
And if I'm like not, because I don't have headphones on, just let me know.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
We're pros around here. But anyways, what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about trucks, and it sounds like you're a truck guy. You're so much a truck guy, you got your own channel. Don't
Yeah.
you have a truck channel?
No, I don't. I don't have like a fully truck channel, but I
You
used
got
to do.
another channel that you do some truck stuff on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then we, well, it never like was meant to be. Like I just made a video on like, oh, I got like new tires on my truck. It's like a long time ago, and it did like better than all my other videos. Like people only cared about like, what size are them? What lift you gonna do? What
Yeah.
kind of headlights, man? Like all these mods you can do to your truck. Kind of like, it's like kind of like a real life video game. Like
Yeah.
you can collect this stuff and put it on your truck. And
Yep.
I feel like that's what the big thing about trucks is nowadays. Because now people have straight up truck and car channels.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy.
Yeah, my if I had a truck channel, it would be just the first gen, and I haven't done anything to it in years. Like I changed the oil.
Yeah.
I do need to get some better tires for it.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like the tires I have on it really. I've been thinking about like really getting it fixed up though. New paint job, new everything.
I
But
don't know, man. I think you should just get another one for that. Because, like, the one you have is so magical how it is.
that's true.
It's just,
Yeah.
I don't think you should change anything about it.
That's
Because,
a
like,
good one.
and I've done it enough where I've, like, ruined a truck because I did too much stuff to it. Like, the Colorado, that's, like, meant to have everything, right?
Yeah.
It's got the snorkel. We can go underwater if we need to, you know, going through those trails finding elk up in the mountains or whatever. But the dually, you know, the back tires stick out like 6 inches. You know, you got two 33-inch, 12.5 wide tires on the rear, right? So think
Yeah.
about your dually and think about
Yep.
how much wider mine stick out. It's for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you get a little bit wider grip to launch, but
I'm just gonna go
Come on
with your advice
just don't do nothing
because
with it.
that's the cheaper route.
You
too.
should get like a maybe I don't even know that same year. I like that year.
93.
Yeah,
Yep.
93, and then you know you can fix that one up and do it up like really slick, like nobody else does.
Yeah.
Do like a rodeo style, like I don't know what they call that paint job, but you know, like with the
The stripes.
stripes.
Man,
down
what
the
would
side.
be-
Oh yeah, that's
old
really
school.
90s like
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
If I could have one 4-wheel drive, I mean, I don't even know if they have 3/4 ton,
Mm-hmm.
short bed,
No,
like a full bed on it.
I think you need a long bed. You don't
Dude, I want a
short
short bed. Yes,
bed.
I do.
That's up
Like a
to
step
you.
side?
Yeah,
No, they didn't
that's
make
up to
step
me.
sides. I don't think they made
Dude,
step
I've been not a step side,
just a short bed.
just a short bed.
Yeah.
Dude, I just think they look so good on a single cab.
Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
long beds are obviously more effective for working, but if you're going to get a second first gen,
Yeah.
you're probably not, it's not going to be
Man,
something you're going to
those
work in.
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
body styles look so good when they're like. I don't know.
Just
Yeah.
the
It makes
the
me happy,
93?
yeah.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Just like the original Cummins, like first gen.
Yeah, the
like
body lines there's not really much of a body line. It's kind of
They're
like
so
a snub
square,
nose.
yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
square. You know, the Chevy has the square bodies.
Yes,
Really-
which I also love.
I feel like the Dodge is like a little bit rounded out square body. It's
Yeah.
just and something about that makes it like, ooh, I want one of those.
Right.
You know, because so many people are Ford, Chevy, or Dodge. They stay on a team, right? Everybody can say that about me because mostly what I have is Chevys, but there's something about that right there that's like, ooh, I just want to have that in my
Yeah.
collection,
Yeah.
someday. But I think if you do that, get a really, I mean, you're gonna have to pay. Sorry, you're gonna have to pay because.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have it out there, and they're like, "Ooh, I'm
They're
just waiting
gonna
for
know.
some rich dude to come in and buy this
Yeah.
from me for $100,000."
Yep. I'm a fan of like the Chevy square body with a step side, short bed step side, but it's got to be level.
Yeah,
That's why I think get a 4-wheel drive. I can't have the back end a little higher than the front end.
Yeah, no.
Like to me, it's got to
Squatting.
be
If
level.
anything, I'd want it the opposite. I'd want the front end higher.
Yeah,
yeah.
just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You get
But-
that, they call that the Cali lean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Or one of those old school like Ford or Chevys where everything's rounded, but it's a step side.
did you
Yeah.
see
Those are
mine
cool.
that I built?
No.
It's a 64 C10, orange. I bought it out of a farm in Kansas,
Dang.
and I found like 200 pounds of dirt in it. Brought it home. Rust wasn't that bad. Had a
Obviously wasn't running.
no, it wasn't running, but we got it running. About a week later, just put a new carburetor on it,
Dang.
and then
What year model?
64.
64, you said.
64 step side, and it is beautiful. I don't have the truck. We have like a coffee company thing, and we sold it. Basically, we had the coffee company buy it as like the marketing truck for
Yeah.
when we go places.
Go to
but
shows
it's just
and
sitting there now, just sitting in a warehouse, and I'm like, man, I want to get that thing back because
Yeah.
it's all airbag suspension. It's
Man,
nice.
if I just imagine myself like retired and in either like an old school step side without a paint job, that runs, and that's what I go to the store in.
Yeah.
Or an El Camino.
Oh,
You ever had an El Camino?
I've got one in my garage.
Oh my gosh!
How do you not know this?
I've not been to your garage. I've watched your videos, but
Yeah,
I've not been to your garage.
My El Camino is my baby. So, do you have a specific year?
No,
71.
really.
71's the year.
That's my
Okay?
year.
Yeah, 71 is the year
For everything or El
for
Caminos?
for El Caminos.
Okay.
El Camino 70 is close, but 70 you got the dual headlight. I don't like it. Single headlight. It's just very clean. That was like the first kind of, you know how like when you do, you're like, oh man, there's just something, you know, like you have something in the back of your head forever that you want to do, but it's a lot of, it's, you know, it's a little bit more money than, you know, you're used to casually spending. And so that was like the first thing I kind of splooged on a little bit. And it took over a year. And now it just like sits there in my garage just looking pretty. Like I drive it to the gym like maybe once a week in the summer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When I was in kindergarten, I remember just being
El Caminos?
somewhere. No, like not in one. I was just in the front seat with my dad going somewhere, and we were in Snyder, Texas. And I remember seeing these two guys in an El Camino with the windows down.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I thought it'd be neat to go to rodeos in one, or go to a rodeo in one. You probably don't want to hit up multiple just because.
Put a Capri camper in the
I
back.
can just imagine.
Oh my gosh, that would be.
I can imagine a couple rigging bags in the back. I
Yeah.
got somehow just a camera over it going down the road with rigging bags and saddles in the back of this El Camino.
If I remember correctly, El Camino means King of the Road.
Dale Brisby. Oh,
Yeah.
King of the Road.
King of the Road. And then you got, with my El Camino, I did like everything. I did the suspension and everything too, but it's the SS version, so it's got the nice like interior and all that, and it's not completely done yet, and it's fast. It's just like, I could imagine rolling up on the rodeo with one of those things.
Yeah.
It just like a little single horse trailer on the back.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
So tell
I
us.
feel like you need. I'm sorry. I just feel like you need one so bad.
Yeah, Dale
and then-
Brisby.
and get like a paint job like that.
Yep.
I don't know what you call that. Like a '90s graphic.
I know. Yeah.
That's what we were going for with that cap style, with
Yeah.
that patch on that cap.
That would be awesome.
Tell us about your origin story. You've been making YouTube videos for how long?
Sorry, I'm gonna scoot up a little bit. Probably. I think it's like going on 13 years now.
Dang.
Yeah.
A whole lifetime.
Yeah. So, no joke. I've been making videos longer than some kids watching have been alive.
Golly.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
My mom told me that the other day. She goes, there was this kid. She was somewhere, and there was this kid that was like, watched the videos all the time, and he was like 11. And I was like, wait, I've been making videos longer than he's even been alive.
Wow.
That's weird.
And
You know?
and for the first how many years was it? It was just you.
Probably like just me doing everything.
Yeah.
Like 9-10 years.
So, what was the first video? Like, what was it like? Tell me about your state of mind.
Well,
Like,
everybody, they think what my first video is, like by just what's on my channel, but what my first video. I don't even remember. We did so many. Because what I did is, you remember them old video cameras with you put the whole VHS tape
Oh,
inside?
yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
we had the one that was the size smaller that they came out with that had
like a little tape.
like a little tape.
Yep.
I forget what they call them. There was a name that we would always call it, like a D. I don't remember what it was. But we had one of those, and my buddies and I were just like, we would just film each other. And just, we would set up the camera and do like a show, like a radio show or something. And we would just keep filming, but we would never post it anywhere. YouTube wasn't even around. And even since I was a kid, like I had radio shows on my karaoke machine. Like I had this old karaoke machine that was like from the 90s or something. I don't know.
Yep.
My mom got it at a garage sale for like $4. And then, we had radio shows, and we would make movies on these things, and then finally I was like, I found YouTube. I remember I was in school because one of our schools had, remember them old Macintosh computers with with the gel, and it was like all the different colors, of the Mac computers. We had one of those at school, and I remember finding what YouTube was on that. Supposed to be doing research, something else, and
You were.
I was like, YouTube, what's this? And it was like, even before, it was kind of like everybody broadcasting themselves is what they call it. It was kind of started as like a dating thing.
Really?
Back in the day, yeah, people would like video chat with each other back in like 05.
Dang.
And so I was on YouTube in like 05. That's when I found it, like right when it started, and I kind of kept my eye on it. All right, here we go. This is what it is. But it was never like, the thought wasn't even there. You got to remember, this is 2005. It's the only thing we didn't even. I mean, we had MySpace, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
Facebook
wasn't out. Yeah.
Facebook is like maybe 06.
Yeah, I don't even know if MySpace was out yet. It was, or it was close. So that whole social media
06.
thing. Yeah.
06 and 07.
Yeah, that whole thing that dude, you got to think about it. That's less. That's like.
I had a
What is that,
Facebook in
14?
06.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I did in
Facebook.
06.
So MySpace was around then.
Yeah,
But I mean,
it would
just started. So
Yes.
you got to think, it's less than 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and we didn't even have this. Now like us is like doing stuff on YouTube as being a YouTuber or posting on Instagram or something like that. That's like a daily thing that we think about. Like,
Yeah.
oh well, let's try to sell a hat. Let's go and make a video and try to entertain people this way. You got to think, less than 20 years ago, that wasn't even a thing. It was
Right.
like, well, got to move to L.A.
Yeah,
go to
no
Hollywood.
kidding. No
You know?
kidding.
It's so, I kind of had an epiphany while I was saying that. I was like, wow, that was not that long ago, and that was the beginning of it all.
Yeah,
It's almost like something changed completely with our whole culture.
it absolutely did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you make your first dollar? Like when did a check hit your account and you were like, hold up?
Oh man, probably like, I don't even think you could get paid until 2011 or 12.
Yeah.
And I started in the beginning of 07. I had another channel, and then I made the Outlaw
So
channel.
you were just making them for just fun.
Yeah, I was just making it for fun. We would just do whatever,
Yeah.
and then we would do like little skits, and because I always wanted to be like, there was like this thing in me where I always wanted to hunt and fish, but then the opposite end of the spectrum was I wanted to be an actor. Like I always wanted to be an actor, but then YouTube kind of fulfilled that because I hated, the
100%.
whole Hollywood thing, and
Yeah.
we've done a lot of that, and it's just not. It's now
just-
when you have
It's different than our culture.
yeah,
Like that's a whole nother culture.
yeah. So we, but I would say 2011, 12, and I was moving around everywhere around then, and then I was like, wow, you can make money on this. It was kind of like when I came back from Alaska the first time, because I was up there fishing. When I came back from Alaska, that's whenever you could I was like, oh wow, I made like $100, because you couldn't get paid until you made $100, which I think that still is. It took me forever to get $100.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I guess I'll keep making videos then. And I'll,
Yep.
you're like, wow, I'm getting paid to like do what I like to do.
Right.
This is cool. And I made no money like for a while, It
Yeah.
was, and plus it was so different back then. Like there was like maybe a couple companies that
Would
like
advertise.
advertise,
Yeah.
It's nothing like today where it's a whole giant business now,
Yep.
But I still don't even really, there's so many different things that go into it, and I'm like, and sometimes I look back on, starting when I was like doing there, you could make money, and I always try to keep that same mindset, like, God, how fun it was, because we had fun in the beginning. Like, dude, you got all these new people that have never watched people on the internet. That was weird to do, remember?
Yeah,
Don't watch people on the internet. That's weird.
Yeah.
Don't talk to people on the internet. That's weird. Dude, if you think about it, you and I talked to each other about the bull thing a couple years ago, and then we met up in person.
100%.
If our moms heard about that 20 years ago, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, no!"
Yeah.
You know?
Don't drive to Texas.
No, you're
Meet some
driving to
random
it. Yeah.
long-haired cowboy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
I mean-
it's different. It's different than it was. That's for sure. Yeah,
it's
and
crazy.
And dating,
Oh yeah, dating. Dude.
Completely
Nobody
normal.
meets in person anymore.
completely normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I officiated a wedding for my buddy. Met his wife on Tinder.
Oh man, dude, everybody meets on Tinder now.
Apparently,
Because you can't make fun of it on a podcast. Because I was about to, and then I was like, well, that's actually probably like half the people listen to this podcast probably met their significant other on Tinder. I said, hell, hey, that's how it goes.
no kidding. Yeah, so that's how
anyways,
it started.
Shout out to Miss Outlaw, met her on Tinder. Kidding.
That's how we that's how we got started. Like, I think it was 2010. I had made some videos and I've looked for them. They're not on the internet. I put them on a different channel and they were just up and then like burned them to a CD.
Yeah.
And so like I'd literally have to go put a CD in the CD a DVD.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then started doing some prank phone calling, heavy, not filming it, you know.
And that was another thing too. Is like back in the day, it was like different types of content. Like you wouldn't in the beginning, you wouldn't really film yourself every day.
Right.
Like most of it was like it's short. Like
There had to be a
prank
reason.
calls,
Yeah.
or those prank calls were huge in the beginning. Those little sketches. Nobody does a sketch anymore.
Yeah.
We did a couple in our video we just filmed, but like nobody does a sole video on it.
Right.
Because it's just not like people. It's almost overdone
Yeah.
on the internet.
And then in 2013, my buddy Mitch Montgomery, he's been on a podcast. He filmed, edited, and started a new YouTube channel. And July 1st, so it's been 7 years in July since we made our first video.
Wow.
And then we just did it for fun. Like, I didn't even monetize my YouTube channel till like maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, like when you're doing it, you're having fun. You don't even know. You're like,
Right.
whoa, you can make money on this too?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We made videos for 4 years before I even monetized my YouTube channel.
Wow.
And then, I got a bunch of videos that did really good that had like copyrighted music in it.
Oh yeah.
that- And then same thing with the apparel. Like it's just kind of one thing led to another type deal for all of it.
Yeah.
Like we were just having fun and what was the next step? And somebody made a suggestion. There were a lot of suggestions and a lot that we didn't take.
Right.
There were some shortcuts and some big partnerships that we just didn't do because they weren't authentic to what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so, but that's still today. Like, that's what we do. We just go have fun. Like the noodling trip. Like,
Now,
Yeah.
that was something that I wanted to do, that we
Yeah.
wanted to do, that was fun,
Yeah.
and so we filmed it,
Right.
and it ended up being a blast.
Yeah.
And it's one of the, and most of those videos, especially like that I put out, like I really don't even go back and look to see like how they did. Of course, eventually we will, and it does matter, and sometimes I'm curious, but like when we have fun and we have a good time, we put out a video, like
Yeah.
that's the satisfaction.
Exactly, yeah.
And then if 17 people enjoy it, that's great.
Yeah, and I always tell like when you're talking to editors or you're talking about editing a video, to just like, especially if your camera guy or your editor could be with you on that trip. So I say, if we're here, I said, remember how fun that trip was? I want the people who are watching that video to feel that fun that we had.
Yes.
Like I want them to have the same experience that we all did filming it.
Right.
So, and you having that experience is going to help it have a better video, Because, I mean, if you go on some trip, like you can go down Alabama, you can go noodling with Hannah, and it could have just been like, well, you couldn't catch a thing, right?
Yeah.
And then that kind of goes onto the video, and then it's like, whatever. Everybody, people are pretty smart. They know if you're having a good time or not.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So it's always important to make sure that you're having fun, and people know that, and you're being natural about it.
Yeah.
And people know that it's not fake.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Yeah, you're right. Because you'll fool some people sometimes, but you won't fool the people, those smarter. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a crazy. Do you feel like there's any sort of like saturation
Of content?
Yeah, too many YouTubers, or the cream rises to the top?
Yeah, I think the cream rises to the top, but it's so, dude, nowadays, like, you could be a famous YouTuber with 20 million subscribers and still nobody would know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many YouTubers that are like, I don't know what you would call I don't know if famous is a good word, like popular.
Mm-hmm.
You've got these, dude, there's like 15-year-old. This is a good example, actually. If you look at like how we started, right? You and I, we started from the bottom, right? And then you move your way up and you start to learn with the process. Oh, we should come out with merchandise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should come out with, I don't know, whatever, seasoning, spices, mugs, whatever. And you start to monetize yourself in a different way. Oh, I'm going to start a podcast. These kids now have watched what we were like figuring out and they already know it. So right when they start, they're going to have all that stuff already,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, this is what we do. This is how we do it." So they're going to go to the next level of doing something bigger,
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen. We're going to see some type of flip where one day you and I are going to wake up and we're going to go, I don't even know if I can keep up with that. Like their whole family, it's like this 15-year-old girl and her parents are behind her with all this money and. That's how it's going to be in the future, I feel like. That's the way it's going, at least. Because, people know how
That's another thing you can't really fool people with, though, don't you think?
Yeah, that is very true.
I mean, because...
People do, like we were just talking about, people really do like the realness and the reality of it. But
And I think, and sometimes, and we see it a lot on social media. Somebody's they're not trying to be... a star, movie star, or fill in the acting void with social media. They might just literally have like entrepreneurial vibes about them, and they want to start something.
Yeah.
So they then do this as a secondary deal, and it kind of fizzles because like they're obviously just trying to do content to sell something.
you can't. It's got to be the other way around.
Yeah, we had these marketing machines that we were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Even if we couldn't monetize them.
Yeah.
Like I said, 4 years before I even monetized the video. And then, oh, wait, no, we can make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't half. Can you cut? I mean,
Yeah.
you can't half-ass
Right.
being a YouTuber.
Right.
People think it's so easy. Oh, I'm going to start. Dude, you know how many people have come to me and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to, I'll have like my mom's friends be like, yeah, I'm going to start an arts and crafts channel. I'm like, oh, that's great. Yeah, can you shout me out? I'm like,
No.
No, that's not the way it works.
No.
Just because I know what's going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to shout you out like I do with everyone. I've made the mistakes before. I'm going to shout you out. You're going to make 3 videos, and then you're going to be like, well, that's not really what I'm going for. I'm going to try to change it. And then they just quit altogether.
Yep.
They're like, oh, you got to full-ass YouTube.
Yes.
100%. And then your little verticals off of, that you can kind of, that's when you put your time diligently into each one.
Into other little avenues of
Because I tell people all the
business.
time that ask me, like, hey, what should I do? I say, first of all, YouTube can't be the only thing you do.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you have different verticals off of your YouTube channel because you never know. I said, trust me, I know from experience when that adpocalypse happened in 2018, I was like, man, if I didn't have like other businesses,
Yeah.
I would be scared, Like it obviously hurt, but I was like,
What do you mean adpocalypse?
do you remember that?
No.
It was, I got hit pretty hard. The Outlaw channel did.
Really?
When the adpocalypse happened, which is, it all started when like Pepsi pulled all their advertising dollars from YouTube because their video or their ads showed up on like an ISIS video.
Oh.
A while back in like 2018, right? And that's what started this dip in all the ad revenue because then they were like, okay, now, because they were just putting ads on whatever.
Yeah.
So then they were like, well, yeah, we got to make sure that we do this right now. And they pulled and they demonetized. That's when they came out with the demonetization. So it's like the yellow button, you know? And so every single one of my videos got hit with that. Like, I mean, I had like 900 videos just straight up yellow. And then I was like, wow. But the thing was, it was
I remember when it happened to you on, like, I remember you dealing with that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's what was going on.
It was kind of when we first met.
Yes.
Because it was right around that time.
We talked about it that day.
Yeah.
Like that night.
And then it like hit us really bad, but I was like, wow. It was like I mean, if I calculate the percentage right, it was like a 95, no joke. It was probably a 90% drop in revenue for like 6 months. Because it took a while to get back and like change to the new guidelines, or not. There wasn't even new guidelines. It was just like, okay, I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people quit. A lot of people quit when that happened. I remember there was like a bunch of channels. That's the good thing about being around for 13 years is like, you kind of know the formula now. Like, okay, there's somebody that's like on YouTube. They're doing really well. Everybody's like, oh, they're going to be around forever. But you look at their personality. You look at like what they're doing. If they're only doing YouTube, they're not going to be around forever.
Right.
They're going to lose it eventually, and then they go away. And so when that happened, if you get hit with any hardship, like, oh, they 90% money drop. I mean, dude, I remember it happened to a bunch of other channels I know, and they called me, and they were just like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? And I'm like, why is that my problem? You know, I'm fine.
Right.
It's not like the greatest.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was smart and did stuff like I always told you. I give people that advice. Like, do something else. Because you never know. You don't have control. You don't have control of anything.
Absolutely.
You know, back in the day when you had your storefront, you had a little bit more control. But now everything's online. You don't know. They could drop you off at any time if they
Absolutely.
want. Cut you off. So
yeah, I got to remind myself of that. I had a buddy had Reed Flake. He had it's a rodeo video. It's in art, and they were I don't remember how many subscribers they had, but their channel got hacked, and somebody deleted all the videos. And I've heard, it might have been you I was talking to, that a lot of times they can fix that. Did I run into you at Denver? You were telling me that?
Yeah, I think so.
We were just talking about it.
But I didn't know that. I was kind of probably talking out of my butt a little bit because I didn't know. I heard of people getting their accounts back, but deleting videos, because I think that just happened to somebody recently. I've never met him, but it's like a fellow YouTuber that's close in my circle kind of thing that happened to. He just got hacked and all of his videos got deleted. I think they got his channel back, but all his videos are gone.
Dang.
And they can't do anything about that. And that is... And I think he almost had 1 million subs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's got videos where he might be making $500-$600 a month that he did years back.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, not only do you have to focus on, longevity and doing something else to just in case this YouTube thing goes away, you also have to make sure your library is safe too. Because what if somebody hacks you and deletes all your stuff?
Right.
I'm done. Well, it's your livelihood. You got to protect yourself.
Right.
And, people know that. Some people are just stupid.
Yeah. No, I think about that all the time. And the same thing with all social media channels. Anybody that leans on just one of them. Yeah, I've had another buddy, Casey Fields. He's a bareback rider. Somebody hacked his YouTube, his Instagram account, and deleted everything. Started trying to sell hair products on there. He got it back, but all his stuff's deleted. Yeah. That's not as big a hit because you can't monetize a video on Instagram you made a year ago. Yeah. But still, the library, just stuff popping up on the Explore page, and Rodeo Cowboys, like. And I'm sure any industry, now when you go to get a sponsorship, those social media platforms are included.
Yeah.
So if you have been to the NFR, but you've only got 4,000 followers on Instagram, you're not going to make as much as somebody that's been in the NFR but has 104,000 followers on Instagram. Just cut and dried. Like,
I know it's
all about
different.
eyeballs.
Yeah.
And anyway,
I mean, it's crazy because there's this whole social media thing has like changed the world. Absolutely, like information is so fast. You get it so fast. Like,
100%.
I remember it like I was born in Florida, and my grandparents still live in Florida, right? And you know, my parents were kind of hippies, so we moved all over the place. So if we got information from Grandma and Papa in Florida, it took a couple days. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, you know, you had to catch them on the phone or leave a voicemail, or sometimes the answering machine was full.
Yep.
You know, it's so, everything is so much faster nowadays, and it's not even like we're moving so fast now. It's crazy to see what it'll even be. I can't even think about it, you know.
In another 10 years.
Yeah, so even imagine just what videos are going to be like in 10 years. That's what I'm saying. There's going to be these new kids coming up. It's like they're going to be bred from youth to be a YouTuber, you know.
Right.
And you and I are going to wake up and be like, what are we even doing with our life now?
Yeah.
Like, hopefully we have something else that's good.
No kidding.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Because, I mean, I don't, you know, we have no egos, obviously, right?
Yeah,
but, like,
obviously.
One day we're just going to be like, how do I compete with this?
Well,
I mean, it's going to be a machine just pushing these kids out.
Yes.
I feel like it, you know.
For them to be interested, we have to be interesting. So when we are no longer interesting, they will no longer be interested.
Yeah. And I said it on your video. I said, and it was kind of a joke, but always reinventing yourself.
Yep.
You know, it happens sometimes.
100%.
You know, you'll get you know how it is. You see your numbers do this all the time, you know, and then you're like, well, I've been doing this too long.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
is what, and that's the way they should. I mean, like, that's the way I am on social media.
Some people think that that's not the way it should be, but you got to remember that you're an entertainer.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're taking the role of TV or movies or something like that, you know, everybody's going to have the same opinion whenever you're like, well, if it's a bad movie, are you still going to watch it all the way through?
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. People.
It's nothing personal. It's just you're selfish when you're watching entertainment.
Absolutely. Yeah. When they're watching my stuff, if they're not entertained, then I don't blame them.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's 100%, because, and that's what I think a lot of those we were talking about earlier, people that come to social media to make money, that's what shines through.
Yeah.
And that's what they lose track of, because whenever any three of us are in the consuming mindset, like we're going to social media to follow something, and let's say Donnie sends you and I DMs us a cool video or a funny video, and we're like, man, that was funny. So then we go to their profile, and we're going to decide if we want to follow that person. So we do a quick evaluation.
Yep.
We go look at the recent 24 posts at the most, maybe just 12 or 9, and we look, do I want to? And it's so crazy because social media is time wasting. It's technically for wasting time.
Yes.
But is this person going to waste my time?
Yeah.
We don't, even though we're wasting time, we don't want you to waste our time.
Exactly.
And so we're like, we do an evaluation.
Just a quick little.
Nope, not going to do it.
Yeah.
They're not going to. And so these new people that they're like, I want to sell coffee mugs.
Yeah.
They go and they make an Instagram. They post 9 pictures of coffee mugs, and they get 14 followers. 7 of them are their family.
Yeah.
The other 7 are employees.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, why do I only have 14 followers? Like, because people go do that evaluation. Like, they don't want to just watch somebody with coffee mugs.
Yep.
Now, if this person like made some cool memes, and it was like every meme, you know, and it was like a funny meme, and it just happened to have. Anyway, that's what I would do if I was selling coffee mugs.
Exactly.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's a whole different game, and it changes every year. And we don't really realize it because it happens so fast, but everything changes. So in 5 years, maybe people are watching this 5-6 years down the road, you know?
So have you, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say this might be out of date by then, but
Yeah. True. We're already kicked off YouTube. These new kids are all.
With that being
look
said.
at these losers.
These guys got beards.
With that being said, like, So I try to respect the audience, let them make the decision. So I find myself putting things out that I personally am on the fence about. I don't know if it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
But I put it out, and it ends up, I let them decide.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, it takes off, and it's like, wow, that did way better than I thought.
Yeah. That's kind of that's basically what I came down for. I was like, well, let's just see, trying to do something new, trying to, do something. Let's see if they like it. If they don't, like I said, you could be my first, you could be my last.
Yeah.
You never know. If people don't like it, the views will tell.
Right.
And
that's all those are metrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. The likes and the views, the comments, it's just like, it's feedback.
And it's funny because you know how like sometimes like, I mean, I'm getting into it kind of hard here, but like you'll do something that you don't think is going to do very good and it does really well. And then the stuff you're most proud of doesn't do that well.
Exactly.
And you're like, dang it, that happens all the time.
All the time.
And then you end up, but that's fine. But the people that really do well on YouTube is the ones that are doing what they want to do and people like watching that,
Yes.
And sometimes that doesn't
100%.
happen for everybody.
Yep, 100%. And so what he's referring to, Outlaw's talking about, he came down here to do a ranch tour of Radiator Ranch, and I'm the first of, he's got 4 or 5, 6 guys that he's going to go tour their ranch or farm or complex, whatever they've got. And I think it's interesting because it's not cribs, it's, but it's a little more detailed and you're reaching out to, I don't know, like I would be interested.
Yeah.
Are you going to go to demos?
Probably when all of his stuff's done.
Yeah.
But he's still got a while over there. He's still building a lot. Nice. I mean, we got, I've got a bunch of guys in mind, but it's kind of, I was surfing Netflix. That was probably a stupid thing to say, surfing. Nobody said that. I was surfing the web, but I was surfing Netflix, and I saw this like Most Extraordinary Homes or something, and then I clicked on that, and then it was like, there were so many shows on like just showing giant houses in Beverly Hills and all this, and I was like, and I just thought, I was like, I mean, I don't really care about a house in Beverly Hills. I care about like a 500-acre ranch in South Texas or in Wyoming or something,
Yep.
So I'm like, nobody ever does that.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be cool. And I was thinking about calling it like agricultural cribs or something at first because I was like, maybe I can go to these farms in Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska and stuff that have this equipment. It's like a $1 million machine, But I was like, well, I want to get everything. Kind of the rural part of MTV Cribs or Most Extraordinary Homes, something like that. But then not every single one is going to be like, I mean, you walked around with me the whole time. Sometime it'll be a ranch that's for sale and we're just with the realtor and I'm kind of showing everybody the stuff myself, But I feel like that's the stuff that people want to see. Because when you're looking to buy something, you love to like do your research and most people like to do their research and watch videos on it. Like, oh, I'm going to get a new truck, right? And so you're watching videos on it. But like everybody always has that like, ooh, I just want to see this multi-million-dollar house. That's what I'm going to get when I'm older. When I keep working, I'm going to get to that point,
Yeah.
And most of the people that watch us and most of the people in America aren't looking at a house in Beverly Hills. They're looking at a ranch with acreage. They're looking at a farm with crazy equipment and a big barn that they can, do stuff in, So there's a empty spot in that market. I feel like that I'm trying to fulfill and give to people a little bit, So
yeah, no, it's not. It's more realistic.
Yeah,
it's absolutely more realistic.
Yeah.
I have no desire to have a home in Beverly Hills.
No.
And the home I will one day hopefully retire in is pretty modest,
Yeah.
but it's going to be isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And surrounded with cows. So
I think it's there's a lot of people like you and I out there. That's why I'm kind of just making it because I want to see it.
Right, which
like
is why it's got extreme potential.
Yeah.
Like you said.
But I might throw it out and it does horrible.
Yeah.
And I'll try it for a little bit. I'm not just going to do one and done. But yeah, we're going to try it out and see what people like.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how people like our noodling trip because most of what I do is ranching and rodeo.
Yeah.
You know, that was a little. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
And so people
I
will
think
be
people
like,
just want to see Dale do. Dale be Dale doing whatever.
right.
Do it with Dale. Hey, do it with Dale. A new show, and you could just go all over the place. Because you know how I travel a lot, and I'm always doing
Yeah.
different stuff. You could do that.
Do it with Dale and Donnie.
Do it with Dale and Donnie. Oh, do it with Dale and Donnie.
Do it with Dale and Donnie.
You guys could
doing it with Dale and Donnie.
doing it with Dale and Donnie.
Yeah.
Triple D. It'd be like diners, drives,
Doing
drive-ins,
it
and dives.
with Dale and Donnie Daytona. Dirty.
Doing it dirty.
Yeah.
Doing it dirty with
Doing
Dale
it
and Dale.
dirty with Dale and Donnie Daytona. Yeah. The 5 Ds. Duck, dip,
Y'all let
dive,
them know. I'm telling
dodge.
you guys, you do more trips. You know, you come up to Colorado, we'll go trout fishing, we'll go elk hunting or something like that.
Yeah.
You go, you go down to, I don't know, go down to the,
We go to Spain and run with the bulls.
go to Spain, run with the
Would you
bulls.
do that?
No,
You wouldn't do that?
I'm too familiar with bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
But
I
would
don't-
you do like a bullfighting thing? Like if you were with the Spaniards up there, like the ones that do the crazy bullfighting?
Yeah, I've been hooked enough that like
You're like, no.
it's not like noodling where I feel like it's kind of on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I've been around bulls like since
Yeah.
I was old enough to. So
I feel it'd be sweet if you went over there and you had like a legendary
If it were like-
fighter or something.
sometimes they'll get like those yearling bulls
Mm-hmm.
or even younger, like an 8-month-old fighting bull.
Yeah.
I would go over there, film them fighting the big bulls, and then me fight an 8-month-old,
Yeah.
400-pound.
Would you get in the Matador costume? And,
That would be funny.
That would be
What's that
hilarious with you and your 7-inch crown and the
Yes.
Matador.
Oh my gosh! But, you get the red. What do they call
Yeah.
the thing? The Toro,
just
the
a
cape.
cape, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they got these little 4-inch horns on each
Yeah.
side,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And
That would be
music.
hilarious.
that would be funny.
I could just see you with like the silk pants with the boots and
And just like.
Would it be worth it to like go to Spain and
no,
do
that
that,
might just
for a
be
video?
something you could do in America. Or like,
Yeah.
no, I
that's
think
true.
it would be worth it to do it. But I mean, now
I mean, if you were gonna go to Spain for some reason, like,
Yeah, if I was already over there.
yeah,
I mean, you're not even going to be able to go to Spain for a while now. So might as
That's
well just
true.
get it out of your head.
Yeah.
Do it in South Texas or something. They got something like that down there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know why I just yawned because I feel so awake. Have you been doing did you take a cold shower this morning?
no, but I don't usually shower in the mornings. I usually shower at night.
Yeah.
I
Started-
took a cold shower last night though.
I'm on day 2 of
Not
cold, no,
Oh, cold
cold shower in the morning.
Well, with the
Like,
date.
only cold water. Turn it
Yeah.
on full blast. Get in. Like, don't start out with a hot shower. Like, yesterday I took one for like 5 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, when I got back last night, I took a cold shower. I had
Really?
like a pound of dirt come off of me because I
Oh, yeah.
remember when I fell in that little scene,
Yes.
it just all soaked up into my shirt.
Dude, you need to try a cold shower in the morning.
It makes you
All
feel
right.
good.
Cold shower in the morning.
If you need to
Okay.
ease into it, you can like start with a warm and then the last 2 minutes make it cold. But like I like here lately.
See, I don't ever do that though because like when I wake up in Colorado, especially right now,
It's already
like
cold.
It's 60 degrees out.
See,
So,
that's,
like,
I don't
it
know
doesn't
what that's gonna be like.
Yeah, because my bathroom's like cold, right? So your bathroom's probably humid and hot. Like when you get out, you feel good.
Right.
Like when you get out of my bathroom in Colorado, like if
It's
you take a
cold.
cold shower, you're already freaking.
Yeah, but then you're hustling.
hypothermia.
Like,
Yeah, man. That's
true.
what I'm saying. That's what
Yeah.
it does.
You're-
So
yeah,
I
true.
came in even this morning like
You're like, I got to get warm
Yeah.
again. Let's go. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I got in the truck, it was 82 degrees. I came in the warehouse and we had left the AC on, so it was 72 and I was cold. I had to grab a hoodie off the shelf this morning
Wow.
when I was editing.
Yeah.
It was 109 yesterday, and this morning I was wearing a hoodie because I was, I'm about that cold shower
Your
life.
truck said 114 at one point.
Yeah, that was Africa hot.
That was hot.
As
hot.
Cheech
Did you
would
get
say
him?
it.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Donnie just killed the fly.
Mr.
buddy.
Miyagi over here. I got
That dude was driving me crazy.
Yeah, I know. He kept flying around everywhere. But it was 114. I'm trying to think of the hottest weather I've ever experienced. And
I feel so bad. This is your second video here, and
Yeah.
it was that hot your first
what
one.
I was going to say is it wasn't that bad. Like,
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Correct.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Now, when I was riding the bull, it was bad because I was actually doing something. And
Yes.
It wasn't 114. It was 105 or whatever it
Yeah.
was. But I was like, holy smokes, it's so hot. I was like, I can't
Yeah.
get cool. And
Yesterday was bearable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There
Especially
was some air moving.
we took those breaks. We were in the shade.
Yeah.
It was bearable. Yeah.
But
What-
I don't even know what the hottest I've ever been in, but
What's the most extreme condition you've been in hunting? Be it cold or just like a wild animal or hot.
Did you hunt in Africa?
yeah, we hunted in Africa for some plains game. It's not like we went over there and shot elephants or anything like that. No, we hunted like antelope basically over in Africa. But like the harshest conditions, you think I would say the mountains,
Yeah.
but I've been in really harsh conditions in the mountains. But I think some of them, man, I'm trying to even think right now. I've been in
Are
a
you a
lot of
duck hunter?
snowstorms. Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite form of hunting?
It's hard to answer that question.
That was
I
hard.
always say whitetail, like because if I had to pick like one animal
Right.
forever, it would just be whitetail, just because it's like a heritage thing, you know.
Absolutely.
It's like a
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a thing that just makes you feel
Yep.
like alive.
Yep.
One of my favorites is elk hunting in the mountains with a bow. It's just like nothing's crazy. I mean, last year
That's respect. Like, if
Yeah.
you get close enough to shoot an elk with a bow,
Yeah.
like,
Last year I got within 1 yard of a bull. Like
Like
we were
me to
calling,
you?
dude. I mean, like I could pull my bow back and like not even. It's on my Instagram somewhere, and a lot of
God,
people
that's
ask
crazy.
like what happened with that hunt. And it was just a mess. I gotta tell like that whole story someday because people are like, "What happened on your elk hunt?" And I didn't even want to talk about it. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I don't even want to.
You're saving that one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a
Yeah. I always said I was going to do like a 3-hour podcast on that whole trip because it was awesome. Highs, lows,
Yep.
the whole time.
That's hunting.
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
life.
What about moose? Would you ever? That's
Yeah. I put in for moose tags before. And
Really?
some places are easier to hunt moose than others. But I need to, because moose meat is one of my favorites. I love moose meat.
Really?
Yeah. I
Can
love
you-
moose
had
meat.
it.
Can
It's
you-
not.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I like elk better. But it's like there's something about the wild North American animals like moose, caribou, elk, mule deer, whitetail. I mean, whitetail are kind of up there. They don't live in the mountains, but just like those animals, they're so tough. They're so rugged. Like being up there with those animals, I'm lucky
Yeah.
I live at a very high elevation. So I can see them every day.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I mean, you got the rams, the goats, the things that live up there. You look at those animals and you go, man, that's insane. You're
Yeah.
and I have such a respect. I've got a very Native American way of looking at hunting, and the respect for the animal. Every time I shoot an animal, I thank that animal, and I'm getting the meat from them, right? And I'm a very big believer in you are what you eat kind of thing, And I feel like when I'm eating an elk that lives in the Rocky Mountains, and he's in this insane terrain, or wherever I'm hunting, and they're in this insane terrain, I almost think about it going into my body, like replenishing me, like, okay, now I'm gonna be able to conquer this terrain, So I'm trying to think of like the harshest conditions I've ever been in, and there's been a lot, but it's definitely been. I think one of them even, I would say it was the mountains, because I've dealt with like rain conditions in the mountains that have been like miserable, trying to hide
Right.
under a tree. Snow conditions, I was in Missouri of all places. I was hunting in southern Missouri, and it was like the snow just kept coming down, and I'm sitting on a tree. I'm 3 hours from town. We're in the middle of
Golly.
nowhere. I'm like, ugh, getting wet. So there's a lot, but
Yeah. I'm gonna say duck hunting is in my
favorite.
top. That's probably my favorite like form of hunting.
Yeah.
I hate how cold you have to get.
yeah. Well,
But-
and people think waterfowl waterfowl is one of the hardest ones. You got to get up early.
Early.
So like you don't get up 30 minutes before,
Yeah.
you're getting up hours. You're getting up at 2 a.m. depending on where you have to drive.
Yep.
You got to set up deeks. You got to get the blind ready. I mean, you got
Yeah.
to make sure everything's good. And then sometimes it gets light 30 minutes before light. It's legal, and you shoot them in 5 minutes, and you get limited out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the way it happens
Yeah.
sometimes. You're working 4 or 5 hours for 10 minutes of shooting.
Yep.
But the reason why I like waterfowl so much is because you could have all your buddies. You guys could be talking.
Yes.
You know,
100%.
You're not stalking anything. They're coming to you. It's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then I'm a fan of noodling now.
Yeah.
Pigs and whitetail. Those are my top 4.
Yeah.
I
got to get
that's
you.
the only forms of hunting I do.
I got to get you up this year to do a goose hunt
Oh, dang.
in the snow.
That's what he's saying. I've never hunted geese.
Dude,
Geese.
you would love it. They just, I mean, I'll put you in like a big field. And
Canadian
we'll
or
sit in
snow goose?
Yeah, well, there'll probably be some snows
Right.
up there too, but Canadians.
They
We'll
work
lay
a
in
lot
these
better.
layout blinds, and you're just, I mean, they're gonna land on top of you. It's the coolest thing. It's better, in my opinion. I love it more than duck hunting.
Really?
I mean, I love hunting like field mallards, but I feel like hunting in a field is so much more fun.
It really is.
They
honestly.
land on top of you. I mean, it's
Use
when you're
dogs.
duck hunting off
Or I guess
water.
you don't need dogs for that.
Yeah, you can get dogs. I mean, you can have dogs. I mean, they can run and go and get it. You more want dogs for water, but when you're hunting on water, these ducks are flying in super fast.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, all right, let's get in here. Let's get on the water, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that doesn't look right.
Yep.
Fly off. The geese are like coming to stay, and they're slow. They're big, so they're just bubble, 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 and they're
Yep.
landing on top of you. They're coming down, and then you just make it rain.
Yeah.
Oh, there ain't nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cold, but at least you're in like a nice little layout blind. You know.
Yeah.
You're good. I mean, you got to get up early for that too. But goose hunting, I would choose over duck, and I feel like you need to experience that.
Yeah.
You should come up
I do. Where do
Should
you
come-
go?
all around.
There
We're
in
trying to get
Colorado?
a lease. Yeah, we got a lot of leases up there. I'm trying to get a lease right now that farmers kind of being a little hard,
Gotcha.
but I'm trying to get it, and it's like the perfect spot. It's the perfect spot. And I want it, so it makes me excited. Like I'm getting like goosebumps talking about it. 'cause
That's awesome.
It's like a really good spot.
What kind
Do
of
the-
fields do you guys sit on up there?
Well, we just kind of there's like the flyway,
Yeah.
and then you kind of pick somewhere that's close to water. You do a lot of scouting,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
can just. Are you talking like cornfields and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that?
yeah, yeah.
Cornfields, soybean fields. I mean, it's all just these agricultural fields that we have all around us.
Do you feel like hunting videos don't do as well on your YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, there's some that like if it's in like a certain niche that they want to push it in an algorithm, then I think fishing does better. Just because it's a little bit cleaner, when they see, like every time I put hunting in a title, just the word hunting, you like know it gets suppressed. It just does. It doesn't do good like the other ones are, and even if the thumbnail is fire, as they say nowadays, like it's still.
Just doesn't do what you...
Yeah. So I try to keep that out. My last
Gotcha.
like 3 videos have hunting in the title, but it's the fishing videos usually do a little bit better, which is
Dang.
sad. But it's at the same time, if they want to watch it, they'll find it.
Yep.
So
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I got into duck hunting. My mom had rescued a yellow lab, and he was 2. His name was Lucas.
yeah,
And,
I met Lucas.
oh, yeah. You remember Lucas.
Yep.
And we'd shoot skeet, and I'd never duck hunted, but we'd shoot skeet, and all the dogs would take off, and then Lucas would just chill.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'd bark, and I was like, man, this sucker has been some sort of trained. And so, like, I just took him out one day. I didn't know what I was doing. I had a shotgun and went and hid in the bushes, and
Yeah.
I shot some ducks, and I think we shot 10, and he brought back 9 of them.
Wow.
I didn't realize you send them by saying their name.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to bring him back, and I'm yelling Lucas,
Yeah.
and so he just keeps hunting. This one dude, like, it was thick brush.
Uh-huh.
And this duck was at least the length of this warehouse out in the brush.
Okay.
And Lucas just disappears. I'm almost thinking he's on the highway.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, he just comes around the corner. And this
With
is
it.
day 1. Yeah, with this
Wow.
duck.
And
So,
you're
like,
wow, okay.
dude, and so I was hooked.
Yeah.
And then he pretty much taught me how to duck hunt.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be sitting there talking, and then, like, he'd, like, perk up, and there'd be ducks coming.
That's
And,
crazy,
like,
isn't it?
Dude, this dude was, like, I don't know who or how they trained him so well, and he was so young,
Right.
And so I duck hunted hard for maybe 3 years and didn't know hardly anything about it. Just literally just had a dog that knew. And so anyway.
Yeah, it's I've been in the blind with some crazy dogs, man, that have just that I don't even know how they do it.
And so now I'm kind of spoiled to it. Like now I don't really want to go if there's not a good dog.
Yeah. Well, I've met a few dog guys out of Kansas. They keep your dog for like a year, one of those camps that they keep. And I mean, I don't know anything about training a dog. I have border collies. All they want to do is herd chickens, sheep, and cattle. That's all they want to do. But as far as these labs go, and poodles, even they have a lot of poodles. Poodles are good retrievers.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, dude, they work with them. They keep them for a year, and then they give them back to you like after a year. Like you get the dog.
How much does that cost?
I don't know.
Lots of money.
It's probably
like
very
5,000.
expensive. I think I've heard that.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that number blown around, but I think it can get a little bit more.
It just
pricey than
depends on the kennel. If it's
Yeah.
a really if they have a good reputation, yeah.
But that's a lifestyle. Like
Yes.
training dogs. Like there's going to be some people watching this that are experts
Yeah.
on dogs and all that, and it's crazy.
See, that's why I was like, those were my golden years then.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to spend 5, 6, 7,000 on a.
Well, you
dog
can
to
do
go
it
hunt.
yourself.
Yeah.
You can absolutely.
Man,
do
I
it
tried
yourself.
to.
I
with catfish.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
my next project.
You got it 30 minutes to an hour every day, like in the morning and then at night, like that 30 minutes a piece. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Leroy got me catfish, and it was after because Lucas had some age on him,
Yeah.
and
He was an old pup. How old was he?
he was 15 when he died.
15. Wow.
Yeah.
In your defense, I don't know. A catfish is just. He's one of a kind. I've never seen a dog.
He's a maniac.
I've never seen a dog act like him. You want to like that dog so much, and then he just does something that you're like.
It's like-
He's so smart,
Yeah.
but he's got like extreme ADHD.
Yeah.
Like this joker won't. I mean, and I did like I've hunted ducks with him, but he just goes nuts sitting there. He gets so freaking excited.
I have a dog like that. And you know how border collies already have ADHD.
Yeah.
But my dog Luna, she's this little border collie tricolor, and she can't stand sitting still. Can't stand being around people, and she's not the center of attention, or somebody's throwing something at her or something she can hurt. Because like when I picked her up, she was this big herding chickens in the front yard of this lady's house that I picked her up, and she was just she was getting on it, and then like she already had the commands down, everything.
Yep.
I don't even need to train her. I put her on sheet before, and I don't even need it. It's in her blood.
Right.
It's crazy. She won't even nip. I'm like, what is going on here? And so, but if you put her in a room, like if she was sitting here right now, and then she just gets louder and louder and louder until you just like acknowledge her,
Yeah.
So, and dogs get like that, man. I don't get what it is. It's like
I love dogs.
they're just their minds like this.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I think like Lucas, like never in a kennel, never on a chain, like just gate would be open for 2 days.
Yeah.
He ain't going out of the backyard.
Yeah.
Like he's right there.
Yeah.
And then when you go hunt ducks, he's going to chill beside you.
Yep.
Go bring them back.
Right.
Like he'll, wait by the truck, sit, stay.
Yeah.
He'll anyway, catfish. So I was, and Bryce Chapman, good friend of mine, he uses collies, and he'll use them in his axe. Like he'll have a dog lead a horse.
Yeah.
And so he said, you gotta live with them, and you gotta keep them somewhere where they can't see out. And when you do that 30 minutes to an hour a day, you are all they. When they're not doing that, they're in something where they can't see out.
Yeah.
And I had it where he could see out catfish, but like he was like confined unless I was working with him.
Yeah.
And after 6 months of this dog's life, like you can like out there, I got to put him up because he ain't gonna listen to nobody else if I'm there.
Right.
Because he learned that like I am his freedom.
Yeah.
And he is so just, and I'm not saying it ruined him, but like.
He's probably not a cuddler at all?
No.
Yeah.
Like he's a goer. Like he's got energy. He wants off that chain. He wants out. And now I can't leave him off He can't be like Lucas because he goes all over. Of course, if I'm there to yell at him, he'll come back. But anyway, I can see how like those kennels, like I can see how if you harness that tool and you applied it like every day for a year, like it would just make
It's a lot of work.
But it is a lot of work. I just didn't have time.
Yeah, it's hard
for
to
me
have
to,
that time.
Like I've duck hunted in the last 4 years like 2 times.
Yeah.
So like 30 minutes a day to an hour a day every day, so I can do something once a year.
I know.
But
yeah, I would definitely say you got to come up and do some goose hunting this year. If you've never done goose hunting, at least do it once, and you're just going to be like, wow.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
I gotta try.
We can be in a pit blind too. Like
I had been duck hunting all my life, and I went to Canada 2 years ago. I had never really set up for geese. I killed some geese, but when you set up on them on a dry field, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it can get magical too.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I mean, you're in a layout blind that looks like your surroundings, and you've got giant goose decoys all around you, big feets we call them.
Yeah.
And they look legit. They're as big as a goose, and they just land on top of you. I've had geese land on top of me before, like literally landing on the blind. And we're like, we could shoot them, but we're like, let's just let them land on top of us because you've never had this before. You know?
That's awesome.
It's nuts. And then you just make them rain.
Make them rain.
Goose sticks, baby. I love goose sticks. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Let me say goose sticks. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Might sound like another word, but yeah, we make the goose sticks, mix it with a little bit of pork. Perfect snack.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like you get them made into sticks?
Yeah.
Like for real?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, because goose isn't that good.
Right.
Very tough because they're
kind of greasy.
I mean, they're greasy and they fly a long way. So
yeah,
if you get a resident goose, it's still kind of that bad. Their breasts are just tough.
Yeah.
So grind it up, put it in a stick, a little snack stick.
Yep.
Jalapeno cheddar, habanero jack, something like that.
Really good.
It's really good. Mix it with pork, a little bit of pork. It's good.
Well, so you're on to the next one. Headed back to Colorado today.
Yep, we're driving back, and then tomorrow we're going to Mississippi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping in, Radiator Ranch, Dale Warehouse, and Beaches of Winnebago.
We did it all.
We've been ending with some life advice.
Some life advice?
Yep.
Ooh, man. I got to think. Did all of us have life advice?
All 3 of us.
Okay. I'm trying to think here. What's the best way? I want to be important.
Yeah.
I will say mine, there's always a lot. The secrets to life are always hidden behind a cliche.
Yep.
I always say that because cliches go right over people's heads because they've heard it their whole life. They're born and raised hearing cliches. But I think more importantly today, I will say, especially in these times, to remember and not take life too serious. Because especially in these times with the internet and information being so fast, people are always on edge.
Yep.
They're always seeing something on their phone that either makes them mad or happy. It's making bipolar people out of a lot of people that are always on their phones and internet and watching things or whatever. But if you just remember to not take life too serious and remember that you're just getting this information so fast. This is how it was. You got to think people were like this 10 years ago as well. You just didn't get the information as fast.
Absolutely.
This was still happening. The
Kids
information just wasn't there.
Yeah. Gen Z, millennials, like kids were the same now as they were in the 50s. You just didn't know about it.
Right.
Because if you lived at the end of the road, there's no way of knowing who was doing something on the other side of town.
Right. So if you keep that in the back of your mind, where like, okay, I got to realize that like, this is life.
Yep. It's just coming a lot faster.
Yeah. It's coming faster. You got to remember, don't take it so serious.
Absolutely.
Don't be so serious all the time. I meet people all the time, and they're just like, they don't Like, because I realize sometimes I'm like kind of a bubbly guy, and always try to bring the mood up and stuff. But like, there's a lot of people out there that aren't like that.
Yeah,
because they're just straight up, just like,
Yeah.
Why does he keep making jokes? You know,
Yeah.
I do that like on the weekends. Like,
Who is this?
Yeah.
Scott Steele.
Scott Steele.
So it's don't take life too serious, man. Have fun and be positive. Treat people with respect. Be nice. All those things.
Yep.
You know, I think being nice, especially in these times, it's a rare quality.
What you think, Donnie?
Man, I had something good that I thought of the other day, and I just went into panic mode, like trying to think of it real quick because my life advice has been kind of weak here lately. But
I like what yesterday Craig Cameron said. Why you think about it?
Dude, that's what I was going with this. I was like,
well, what Craig Cameron said yesterday, and then I'll let you say what you were going to say. Find something you'd gladly do for free, and then let somebody pay you to do it. Find a way to get somebody to pay you to do it.
I've heard that. It's very good advice.
Okay, that's not exactly where I was going to go with it, but like, I liked what he said, like about good cowboys are made, they're not born, and not necessarily just in cowboy, like,
right?
But anything, you know, like if you want to really do something, work at it and put some time into it, because it ain't just going to happen.
And when you say, I want to stress this off of what you just said. When you say you got to work at it, like, dude, just because you woke up at 7 and you worked all day 12 hours, I mean, you got to do that forever. You know, it's legit work to get to wherever you go. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do. You know, if you want to be numero uno, or you want to even just be in the biggest of the genre that you want to be in, or whatever you want to do, it's a lot of work.
And
so get ready.
It's crazy, like how so many people, when they work hard, they think that the world or the universe is gonna like feel that work, and then they just
like 2 weeks
deserve these results. Just because you work hard doesn't mean the results just happen. Like, you can work 12 hours a day for 6 years and only have 4,500 subs on your YouTube channel. Like, just because you put in the work doesn't mean that you're going to yield the results. Like, there's other little factors that come into it. Are you talented? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Like, is it fun to watch? Like,
and that whole dream thing too. Like, some people are like, oh, my dream. I mean, you could be a dude with no arms, and your dream's to be a basket weaver. Well, you know, that ain't gonna happen, buddy. Maybe it will with your feet or something. You could be on Nat Geo or something like that. But like, when you're talking about, you know, your life, you want to take yourself serious to a minute fact of like, well, is this something that I'm going to be able to do, or is this just a phase of like, well, I want to do this right now?
Right.
Find what you're good at. Find what you're good at, and if you're good at it, strive to be the best. You know.
No, it reminded me of that scene in The Office where Michael goes up to Pam and he's like, Pam, I want to adopt, and I want you to get me in contact with somewhere I can adopt a child. She was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. She was like, well, sometimes the process alone could take up to 6 months. And he's like, oh, I don't even know if I'm going to want a kid in 6 months.
Exactly. That's how it goes.
I don't even know if I'm going to want a kid.
That's exactly what it is. Because sometimes I'll even do it. We all do it. We're like, man, I'm really interested in this right now. I think I'm going to be interested in it for the rest of my life, but I don't know. And then 6 months later, you think back on it like, wow, I wasn't
that interested in that.
Not at all. You know?
No, I've been saying that about a tattoo. Like, if I want a tattoo.
Do you have any or no?
No, I don't have any.
What would you think about getting?
So, Leroy and Jacobs, my buddy that I rodeo with, they both got them. But it's a tree, like a dead tree. Like, my idea was a dead tree on my ribs. Jacobs ended up getting it. Like, we talked about it, and like his is pretty bad, and then it just has one piece of fruit on it.
Ooh,
and
I like
kind
that.
of Matthew 7, like bearing good fruit.
Right.
And then Leroy got it on his arm. He's got a tree coming up, and it's got a sunset in the background. Did you see it
I did
yesterday?
See it, I didn't really
bad
take
to the
detail
bone.
Yeah.
Bad to the bone. But I've got a few ideas like that, like something on my back, on my shoulder blades. But when I was a kid, my old man had been in a few commercials, and he was like an extra in some movies. And he was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, he never said don't get a tattoo, but he was like, if you're ever going to act, you know, because he had done a little bit, and I had been in like 1 or 2 little commercials as a kid, and so that's been in the back of my head. And so now that it's becoming more of a actual possibility, I just haven't gotten a tattoo.
I know, like, most of my tattoos, I've got 4, and like I could go without all of them. I just like, I feel like I just got them to get them. I was just like, okay, I'll get them. Here we go.
But that's you, though. Your tattoos are dang sure like that. Like, it's not like a that those are genuine, authentic. Like,
they all have a
that's
story.
Outlaw. Yeah.
You know, one of them came from Alaska on a boat. You know, those kind of stories. I'm thinking about getting a tramp stamp of a salmon. What do you think?
So this was my rule of thumb. I'll tell you, do this. Like I said, I'm going to think about it for 6 months, and if I still want it, I'll do it.
Okay. But I've been thinking about doing the tramp stamp of the salmon for 6 years.
That's me too, and I still want them, and I haven't gotten them. So now I'm on the other side of the coin. I've been wanting them for years. I haven't gotten them. So
maybe there's something else to that, because we'll get that tattoo, and then it's just like, well, man, I shouldn't have got it. But I was thinking, if it's a tramp stamp, I'll forget about it all the time, and then the old lady just has to see it, you know?
Right.
So she already said yes. What's she gonna do? Back out?
That's true.
Can't do it.
Congratulations.
I got a YouTube channel. I'll ruin your life.
Congratulations, you're getting married.
Yeah, so, I am. Yes, sir.
You heard our life advice, Dale Brisby. If you don't go follow Outlaw and his YouTube channels, you ain't no cowboy, old son. Check out dalebrisby.com. What's your website?
For merch? Outlawmerch.com.
Outlawmerch.com.
Outlawmerch.com, outlawdip.com, outlawboots.com,
all the above.
outlawbids.com.
Yeah.
I just keep it simple, man.
Heard that.
Yeah.
Pow pow and on to the next one.